I'm back with more fresh and fit content. These Miami hoes are completely out of their minds. And unfortunately, it's not just a Miami or an American thing where I'm streaming live to you from Toronto here. The situation is very, very similar. These bitches are delusional hoes who are completely out of their minds. Their body counts are higher than their credit scores. So everybody should go follow Fresh and Fit, and also like this video and subscribe to the channel. That helps me out.
Yeah.
That helps me out a lot. Let's get into this video.
Of the guys that approach you, has any of them ever been attractive and you still rejected them anyway?
No.
No. Okay. So you actually, if they're attractive, you will give them a chance.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Have you ever rejected a guy that came up to you that you actually found attractive?
Yes.
You have. Why did you reject them?
Because I knew they were on that Playboy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? Of the guys that approached you, were any of them ever attractive, and if so, why'd you decline them?
Yes, I declined. It's all about how you approach.
So they were attractive, but what happened? What made you say no?
Either they send a homeboy for them. If you want to come talk to me, come talk to
Hell
me.
no.
Go
That is the
home.
worst.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, that's some weak shit, man. You're too afraid to talk to a girl. You have to send your friend to talk to her for you. You're a fucking pussy. How are you gonna face the real world if you're afraid of a woman? And these women are at a subliminal level. They understand that if you're such a pussy, you can't even talk to them. You're intimidated by someone who has a pussy. How are you gonna deal with the monsters out here in the real world? You're showing yourself to be a coward if you do shit like this. Don't be afraid of approaching women. Don't be afraid of failure.
So they were attractive, but you didn't like that they had a friend go talk to you for them.
That's not the only situation. There's been other situations, but that's like the biggest one. Yeah.
Okay. What's the other one that made you say
Other
no?
one maybe like what they talk about, how they come off confidence level, too cocky or not confident enough. If you got something to talk.
So you can't be too cocky, to not be too not be too cocky, not be too confident, or not confident enough. You just can't win with these hoes. But I would say if you have to pick one, be overconfident and be over cocky rather than not be confident at all. They will fuck the arrogant, cocky, confident guy, but they're less likely to fuck the meek, humble little piece of shit.
Talk about
If you have to pick one, be an arrogant asshole. And that's from my life experience. Your results may vary, and the things I say may or may not work for you, but they definitely work for me. But then again, you're not 6'2" something, 6-figure making, downtown Toronto living, Benz pushing motherfucker like me. So, like I said, your results may vary. Let's start a different clip.
Those that are wondering, right? We've interviewed hundreds of women on this podcast, and I've come to realize certain differences between the way men think and the way women think. And what I've come to realize is
Women are airheads. That's what I've been realizing. And not all of them, perhaps. But most of these women, man, they're stupid as fuck. They're delusional. They don't know what they want. They believe they deserve a lot more than they actually deserve. Especially in Western countries. Instagram, social media has ruined their brains. Cardi B, Kim Kardashian has fucked up their minds. So much so that they all think they're queens. And they all think they're 10s. Even solid 3s and 4s out here have crazy amounts of confidence, and that's because of you simps. You're in their DMs, you like every one of their pictures, you gas up basic ass hoes to a point where the game is completely fucked up.
yo, y'all live in a fucking Disney fairy tale, man. If I'm gonna be all the way about it, like, goddamn, like it's. I used to think that, like,
Bro, he stole the words out of
just
my
some
mouth.
girls are delusional.
I haven't
it's not
seen this
all of
at
them,
all,
whatever.
by the way.
But a staggering amount, I would say, better than 80% of the women that we brought on the show live in a Disney fairy tale. And what I've come to realize, I've noticed a kind of a correlation. And I know correlation is not necessarily causation, but what I've noticed is the more attractive the girl, the more in La La Land she is. You know what I'm saying? And the less attractive she is, the more down to earth and realistic she is. And what I've come to realize, from talking with
That's a fair statement, but I think some of these fat, overweight, ugly bitches are also delusional these days. Not just the attractive ones, but I agree with Myron with what he said. The hotter the bitch, the higher her delusion level. The hotter the bitch, the higher her delusion level.
Hundreds of women, you know, dating them, you know, going through phones, whatever, obviously with their consent, right? Looking at the amount of messages they get, because we use it for experimental reasons. Is that when you're in a privileged position, you don't have to deal with uncomfortable realities that other people deal with, and it kind of puts you in a position where you're able to essentially believe in fairy tales that best serve your reality.
What? I have not been dealt a very privileged hand of cards, even remotely.
Oh my
have not been
god,
dealt
bro. Of course it's the bull ring wearing pink-haired feminist who fucking says this garbage. Bro, you're a white girl living in America. In Miami, in one of the richest counties in the world. Downtown Miami. She's living in. Talking about, I did not have any privilege. Shut the fuck up. You're the most privileged class of human, white girl, that's ever lived. Ever.
Very privileged hand of cards, even remotely.
I don't think he's talking about
I'm-
I don't think he's talking about like your upbringing. I think he's talking about how it has to do with like your beauty against guys.
But it's not even just about that. We're groomed to be like that. It's romanticism and
no.
everything in media
No.
and all
Yeah,
types of shit.
and that's a fair point. But
And we
let-
just
I
now
was-
have like Moana and shit. Just the fuck now.
I was gonna get into that, but the point I'm trying to make is that men have to live in a fact-based reality to get what we want. Women don't have to. Since you guys are in a privileged position where the opposite gender approaches you for mating purposes, you don't necessarily have to self-improve to the same degree and or know uncomfortable realities about dealing with the opposite gender, whereas men do. Any guy that's good at women knows certain unalienable traits that you need to have to be attractive to women that aren't flattering. You don't text her back. You don't necessarily give her all the attention she wants. You don't put her on a pedestal. You kind of treat her like shit now and then just to let her know that, you know, hey, you're not better than me. It is what it is.
Yep.
Unflattering things is what gets girls attracted and, more importantly, aroused. Okay?
Yep.
And women don't necessarily have to know these things.
If you don't put a girl on a pedestal, especially if it's a hot girl, their fucking whole system gets shocked. They're like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? Who is this guy who's not simping for me? Or like going crazy over me, or like, and sending me good morning texts. It really fucks up their whole psyche. And they can't get enough of you at that point. Trust me, guys. If you don't believe what I'm saying, just try it one time. You see
Things
what I'm
because
saying?
y'all are the ones that get approached. So we've noticed that a lot of girls, you know, have unreal expectations about what they think they deserve or what they're entitled to as far as a man goes.
True,
And
man.
we brought
And I think it's worse in Toronto. I think it's worse in Toronto because I've lived in LA for a bit, and even the Los Angeles girls, they're a lot easier to talk to, a lot easier to fuck than these Toronto chicks. Like the Toronto girls here, like, okay, in LA, some bitch would think she's cool because, you know, she's got some modeling gig, or like, you know, she did Runway somewhere, or she had some show, she had some appearance in a Netflix show or something. But bitches in Toronto, bro, they think they're cool for no reason, and they all think they're 8s, 9s, and 10s. It's unbelievable. And maybe it's because LA had a lot more hot chicks. It's supply and demand, right? Whatever has more supply, the price of it's going to be lower. But because Toronto doesn't have as many hot chicks as LA, I mean, there's some hot girls here, but not as many as Los Angeles. And so it's a supply and demand thing. It's a lower supply, the demand is still the same. So the price is higher for attractive chicks around here, I noticed.
brought in, we have a delusional calculator that we use. And I would say better part of, you know, 8 or 9 out of 10 girls.
But I'm not saying LA girls weren't airheads too. There was a lot of airhead chicks over there too that are delusional, but not to the extent, not to the level of Toronto. Out of all the places that I've ever been to in the world, and there's been 7, 8 countries that I've visited so far, women in Toronto are the most delusional.
Always picks a guy that's in like the top 2%. And it's crazy because I'm like, what makes you think that you're going to be able to get this guy and, more importantly, keep him and have him give you the title of his girlfriend? You know? And they say, well, he's out there. He's out there. I'm going to get him. You know, I'm manifest it, girl. We literally had to put a clip up where a girl scored a 0% on her man. 6'5", certain amount of money per year, etc.
Bro, most NBA players aren't even 6'5".
0%.
This is how delusional these females are. They would. Thank God I'm 6'2", so I'm in the top 10% of height, even in the West. where Western countries have some of the tallest men in the world. So even there, I'm in the top 10%. And any guy who is over 6 foot in the top 10% of heights amongst men. And these bitches don't realize that when you have a height requirement like that, you're automatically ruling out 90% of the guys. And they want the height, and on top of that, they want you to be handsome in the face. They want you to have money. They want you to have a big dick. They want you to have a good personality. They want you to be funny, etc., etc. So, like, the percentage of guys that would be eligible for most of these bitches who make these demands are average-ass hoes. So, for these average-ass bitches, the guys who would make the cut are, like, in the top 1 or 2%. And those guys are not settling for some average-ass hoe, especially in the West, where you can only marry one chick, and then if she decides to leave you or suck a new dick, she takes half your money and future earnings. Doesn't seem like a very fair deal. Especially considering the fact that in a Western country where there's no taboo around casual sex anymore, you can get sex down the street at a bar, or it's a Tinder swipe away. So why would you get married? Doesn't make any sense. The incentives are all screwed up. Oh, did this thing die up on me? Hold on. Okay, let's continue. I just gotta make sure it's on the right screen.
And she scored 5 out of 5 cat bags. And and the girls at the table literally looked her dead in the eye and said, "Manifest the girl, he's out there." And she's like, "Yeah, he is." And in my head, I'm like, that's the most destructive advice, because a big predicator on female happiness is a family and children, not career. So you're literally setting this woman up to fail, telling her, "Oh, manifest it, whatever." And I said, if you jumped out of an airplane and I told you your parachute has a 0% chance of deploying, would you jump out? No. So why the fuck would you go and look for this
Them girls
unicorn
are
of a
foul for
man,
that.
you know, that isn't
Girls
gonna
are
be
not her
found?
friends.
But
Also, and here's the thing, it is just because, and the last thing I want to say, and I'll turn it to you, Melody, is that I've come to realize, to bring it in closing, is women operate on possibilities versus probabilities. Men have to operate on probabilities.
Yeah, because they live in
hey, what's the
La La
probability that
Land.
this is going to be successful? 80%.
They're all delusional, man. They all believe in astrology. Women live in delusional. That's why every female I talk to, they want to know what I do, and then they want to know my star sign. And I just have to look at them sideways. I'm learning to control that shit a lot better now. But I would just fucking spaz out at some of these girls when they ask me that shit.
90%, whatever. Okay, cool. That's a high chance of, that's a low chance of risk. I'm going to do it. Women, on the other hand, this guy is 0.001% of the population. I don't give a fuck. He's out there. I'm not settling until I find him. And that, that's just, and that's to their own detriment, because they sit there, and time passes, and as time passes, women lose value. It is what it is. I hate to say it like that. Men age like wine. They do the work, and women tend to age like milk, because y'all only have a finite amount of time to be able to get the best man.
You see what that fucking Mexican chick, that noise she made? Aww. That's what they do when they hear something that they don't like. Instead of acknowledging or accepting it, or trying to defeat the point with logic, they just go, or, oh, I wish it wasn't that way, or isn't that terrible? But it is what it is. I mean, isn't it terrible that you bitches shame a guy for not being tall enough, or not select him? And again, I'm not mad. I'm 6'2", so I'm okay with that standard, or any standard, as a matter of fact, because I check the boxes on most of those standards. So I'm good, but is it fair that these bitches have all these stringent standards on men? You have to be this height, you have to make 6 figures, da 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 da. And the height thing you can't even control as a man. You can control your income, but you can't control the height you were born with. So is that fair? But it's all fair when they have demands. But if we have demands like, oh, I don't want a bitch who has, a 55 body count and a 350 credit score with student debt, bad attitude, doesn't know how to cook or clean, is going to argue with me on everything, then that's sexist somehow, or too much, or insert whatever shaming language. It's okay when they have demands, but as soon as you have demands as a man, then it's toxic or misogynistic or whatever.
that you can get.
I think
So
we can all.
that's all I was gonna say. Melody, go ahead.
Something I would like, excuse me, something I would like to comment on is that
Sure.
I played around with a little delusion calculator in my free time.
Okay.
Okay, and if you press exclude married 50%, like it decreases by 50%. So 50% of all people are married.
Yeah, it's based on the U.S. Census. So yeah, there's. I mean,
That's
I
not
wouldn't say.
accurate.
I wouldn't say
I was
50%.
googling it. It's not accurate. Like I was literally sitting there with like my friend who's a lawyer, and he was like, "Nah, this is cap. This is cap."
No, but dumbass hoe. They're calculating the eligible men from your criteria, and half of those are probably taken because bitches scoop up guys like that who meet all your ladies' criterias, like the height, the 6-figure income, da 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 da. When you put those in, 50% of those guys are married because they get taken right away.
It's based
like
on the
we-
U.S. Census.
Post law.
These bitches will fight tooth and nail to data and stats, and they will deny data and stats. And there's been bitches on the show that have said, "No, that's just your opinion," when Myron has been quoting statistics.
Facts. Post
And yeah,
law,
and
for real.
yeah, and if you are you saying if you get rid of the married men,
yeah,
or
like if you
add
just
the married
press
men?
exclude on the little thing, like I remember like sitting there playing with it, like your thing is flawed, like it's not really that accurate, but I can come
It's
back
not
with
their
some
thing.
like facts on it too if you want me to.
Sure. I mean, you're
They
not
didn't
prepared
make it.
now,
I
but
have
yeah,
a
it's based on the
not.
2020 U.S. Census. So if you include married men,
2020.
it's gonna 2020. If you include married men, it's gonna obviously increase it drastically. But most girls don't want to deal with a married guy.
Yeah, but then that was implying that 50% of people are married, and that's not true. 50% of all people are not married.
In the U.S., maybe.
That's not true.
Probably not, right?
Remember,
That's not
you're
real.
accounting for all men, gay men, straight men, were married, divorced, whatever. You got to remember that sometimes when people are married, right? There's a lot of people that are still married on paper, but are still that are technically separated. You know what I'm saying? So
lot.
there's
whole
that
lot.
as well. But it's based off the U.S. Census, so it's accurate data. But the thing is that
Well, 2
let's keep
years
it
ago,
real.
not that
Most
accurate.
girls, that's not even a point because that's an irrelevant point because most women that come on always say, "I don't want a married man. I want a man that's single." So even if we want to add in the extra married people, yeah, it'll increase it. But most women don't even want a married guy. They ain't gonna share. Like, no, fuck that. It's gonna be my boyfriend.
Yeah,
It's
but
to
that
me.
just led me to believe that there was more of it that was just like not really that accurate because that was a strong.
What did you punch into the calculator exactly? You probably put some
I
other
put
shit in there.
everything. I swear to God, I was like, okay, let me be. I was like, let me be realistic. I didn't score more than like a fucking 3%, like 5%, maybe. Maybe it was a 5. But
Okay,
like,
so the guy that you
still-
want is
no. I put
rare.
like 80 years old. I put a lot. It was very hard. You have to literally accept. You have to put everything all the way. Married people, fat people, all of it. As little money, any money possible.
Okay, let's see if this female is telling the truth. Let's do this shit real time. Delusion calculator. Okay. Is this the same one? Let me just make sure. Fresh and fit. Yeah, I think this is the one. Alright, so let's see. Let's see what she was saying. She said she went all the way to 80. So let's do 20 to 80. Let's go any race, because she said she was not being picky. But, you know, knowing her, looking at her, what she looks like, I would probably go this. But let's just go any race, okay? Minimum height. Let's go... Since she wasn't being picky, we'll go average height. Most guys around here, 5'7", 5'8". But we'll go 5'7", okay? I think that's what... Exclude obese... She said she wasn't being picky, so we'll include fat dudes. Minimum income, she wasn't being picky, so let's go average income in the US. I think it's $40,000. Let's go 35K. Let's see. Bro, 44.4%. If she was indeed not being picky. Okay? Bullshit. 3%. My ass. It's fucking... She's capping, bro. Okay, let's even exclude married. So, no married guys. Now let's find out. 14.3. That's still pretty high. That's way off than what she was saying.
No, that's the
These
only way you
bitches
can
will
get
just
it to
sit there and lie on a live stream show, knowing that people will look up their bullshit.
be realistic.
Well, here's the thing: the height changes things a lot in the money.
Yeah, you can put any. That's an option. I put any.
No, it only.
Yeah, guys my height are top 10%. And maybe even at 6'2", maybe even less than 10%. These bitches don't understand that, though.
Unless you go to 500, that's how I know you kept.
What, the money?
They think most guys are tall because most of the guys they notice are tall.
Yeah, 500K.
No, you can put any. No. Okay, well the other ones are any.
That's how
Either
I know you
way.
kept.
Don't worry, guys. When they turn 29, 30, it's half off. All these bitches will drop half of their demands.
No.
That's the wrong calculator.
You know, it's not our calculator because it caps out at 500K.
Yep.
Okay, well, there's 2 other ones that gave me the any option,
So
so
it's
I
not the
apologize.
same
I put
one, then.
any for the other 2.
But that makes a huge. That's a huge variable.
I'm saying no.
Income is a huge
I
variable.
put all of it. I'm telling you.
All of it.
I
You know how we
messed
can
around
fix
with the whole
this?
thing.
We'll do it now.
Yeah, we can do it now if you want. We can put your guy in here.
Live.
Okay.
After the video.
You have anything to say, by the way, as far as like that was my reason why I think women live in a Disney fairy tale.
So that's the end of that clip. They were gonna do the calculator on the show, but I think that's in a different clip. I'm not gonna try to find that right now. I already got a couple other clips lined up from Fresh and Fit. Also, everybody should go follow their channel. I think they're doing God's work out here, putting these females live on blast, and I intend on doing the same thing. So if you're a female, you want to be on the show, we're gonna be doing a Fresh and Fit style sit down here in Toronto. And let's see what the next cue
And work our
is.
way
There
back.
you go.
So when was the last time you actually smashed though?
Oh, shit.
Don't cap, man.
Like 4 months ago. What?
Well, EDC was before 4 months ago.
Huh?
EDC was definitely like.
I can see it in her face that she's lying. Most females, especially in a country like US or Canada, they don't go without sex for 4 months because they don't have to. They're not like, they don't go through the struggles of an average man. Because if she was a man, she would be very, very average, right? She was an average man. It's very, very common for an average man to go without sex for 4 months or even 4 years, as a matter of fact. But for females, it's very, very uncommon. Even an obese chick can get laid easily. So I find that a little bit hard to believe, and her face is telling that she's lying.
EDC was definitely like sooner than 4 months ago.
No, it wasn't.
It was way.
Yes,
it was in November.
No, EDC in November.
It was.
You're talking
specific-
about like Vegas.
Oh, you're thinking of Vegas.
Yeah, that was in like March, May, or something like
Mhm.
that.
So you're telling me you haven't had sex in 4 months
Correct.
with this guy?
Wait,
from
her friend just corrected her and called her out.
So you're telling me you haven't had sex in 4 months?
Correct.
That was no EDC in November.
It was.
You're talking
specific-
about like Vegas.
Oh, you're thinking of Vegas.
Yeah, that was in like March, May, or something like
Mhm.
that.
So you're telling me you haven't had sex in 4 months
Correct.
with this guy from EDC?
With anyone.
Can you rephrase the question?
Oh man, she's definitely had
Simple
sex
question.
more than 4 months, bro. Or less
No,
than
4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you surprised? You look surprised.
No, I'm just
Oh,
trying
you're
to understand
processing?
what you're saying. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about you? When's the last time you smashed?
Like you said, you know, that was probably the reason. I can't even remember. Like over maybe a year.
Bullshit.
I feel like
We were
bullshit.
in
But look, y'all.
Especially with that
Maybe a year?
outfit she's wearing, bro. Come on. Who are you fucking trying to fool?
I feel like
We
no.
were
See,
in
but look.
Oh, even he said that. Did he say outfit? Did he say something
Like
about the
over
outfit?
maybe a year.
Look at the face she's making, bro. She's full of shit. Look at the face. Maybe a year? I don't know. Maybe. She's fucking doing the Joker face, bro. She's not telling the truth.
I feel like
We
no.
were
See,
in
but look, y'all.
Maybe a year.
I feel like
We
no.
were
See,
in
but look, y'all.
Yeah.
We not gonna grill her or do none of that because I really feel like
'Cause
if
it's
you
trauma,
had
it's
some
trauma
real
there, there's
traumatizing
trauma
shit
there.
go on, like
Yeah.
I done dealt with some girls that had some. I'm not gonna say it, but we know, women know, like
Yeah.
the shit that went
Real
on that
shit.
make
All
them
right.
not wanna.
So she said 1
So,
year.
You know, we gonna let her. You feel me? We gonna take
No,
it easy
for real,
on
no
her.
cap. Like on my mama.
Nah, for real. Like
on my
I
baby,
believe,
I
I
like,
believe you.
Dead ass.
I
Okay.
believe you though. Like
What about you? When was the last time you
If I did the math correctly.
See, all of a sudden they become fucking mathematicians, bro. If I did the math correctly, and if the stars are lining up on the 59th degree, then bullshit, bro. You know, she's some cap. She's about to cap, and some bullshit is about to come out of her mouth.
That's how we're starting this?
Nah,
Yeah?
it gonna be like, I would say 5.
Hours.
Five what? So y'all ain't just
5
ain't
months.
y'all just ain't fucking.
Huh?
Y'all just ain't having sex.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
no.
man.
This is gonna be
bro.
entertaining. Let's continue with
Yeah,
it.
come
Okay,
on.
when's the last time you smashed?
I hate this. Yesterday.
Finally, some truth.
What about you? When's the last time you smashed?
Today's Wednesday.
Tuesday morning.
Like the other day, I don't know.
I mean, don't feel bad. Everybody have sex. It's fucking.
Depends on who's
you're not a
watching
hoe.
this.
if you-
Oh, my God.
Okay, so depending on who watching this, the last time she fucked you was when she had sex. And that's her story.
She doesn't want to say it because it's multiple guys. You can see it in her face. That brother just fucking pointed out some truth right there.
And we're sticking
Whenever
to
it
it.
didn't last with that. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so she got a roster. She don't want to trip
That's
it
her
up.
story. We sticking
Exactly.
to it. The last person that
Okay,
had
so
sex
she
with
had
her,
sex
no
earlier
matter
today.
who you
Fantastic.
are.
Oh fuck.
What about you? When's the last time you smashed? Bro, this is
It's the
incredible.
oh fuck for me.
No, really. Sunday.
You
Sunday.
lying.
See how women are so controlled by peer pressure? Once this chick on the left, once she admitted that she had sex recently, then the rest of them started admitting.
Fuck for me.
No, really. Sunday.
You
Sunday.
lying.
Sunday
When was
for
that?
me.
You the
You
girls
thought
did
about it for
Sunday.
too long.
No, I just
She
didn't want to
fucked
say I
right
had sex
after
on Sunday
church.
'cause, you know,
I fuck every day, so it's like
Every day is a
whatever.
fuck day.
that's fine. But like when the
My
Lord's
girl
Day-
gonna give me some pussy. I ain't trying
Well,
to hear
okay,
that
then I
shit.
feel bad about it.
No,
Sunday.
don't feel
All right,
bad.
okay.
Like everybody
What about
do
you?
shit on
When's the
Sunday.
last time you smashed?
Last week.
What, Sunday?
And what about you?
Monday.
Like 2-3 weeks ago.
Y'all be lying so much, bro.
I swear.
Bridget, it's okay.
What about you?
I plead the fifth.
Oh, now he's quiet.
He just came back.
Wow.
He just got back. He just got back.
I plead the fifth.
Okay.
Depends who's watching.
But now
Happening
you, that,
right
the
now.
last person she know, she probably watching this because she texting me talking about some you looking real single on that podcast and shit.
Oh.
And I ain't even
So
did
this
nothing.
is
But that's
this is
just
very
how- that's
entertaining.
how-
So we got
that's
4
how, you know.
months,
Yeah.
4 months, 1 year, 5 months with the girl that allegedly met the guy on the basketball court. You was yesterday. You was sometime this week.
Depends.
Depends on who. You're saying Sunday. You said last week, and then you said 2 to 3 days ago.
2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks ago. Wait, and your boyfriend's okay with going a week without smashing?
He be busy. I be
With
busy.
other hoes.
Nah, he be fucking.
Exactly.
Come on,
Exactly,
I'm keep it real.
bro.
Like, when I be here, I be
No,
keeping it real,
listen.
and I'm a real
His
nigga.
No, his only off days are Sundays and Mondays. I
So
go
he
to
work
school with him every
all
day.
day, so
He
y'all
works
don't fuck
the-
at school or
listen,
nothing.
listen. No,
Y'all shit boring.
it might be. Shit, I don't know. It's amazing to me. So it was last week. I'm cool on that.
All right, so these numbers are hilarious because my thing is I always say it like a girl's never not fucking, bro. Like they're always
Exactly.
like dealing with some guy sexually.
Exactly.
It's so
This
false.
is cap. That's false. How?
I think.
How's it
I
false?
just you know.
They're always dealing with multiple guys usually at the same time. Because even a girl that becomes your girlfriend, you had to compete with other guys together. She was most likely dating other guys also, but you were the best at that time. And that's why she picked you and became your girlfriend. So they're always talking to or dating or fucking someone. And especially these days with the advent of social media and Tinder and all these dating apps, it's a swipe away, it's a DM away for them. It's a wink emoji face away, right? All the girls got to do is just say something goofy to me in my DMs and I know it's on. That's why get your social media game up, guys. Take cool pictures in cool places. Take pictures in a Lambo. Rent it if you have to. Do what you got to do to live a cool life. To even if you're not living a cool life, make it look like you are at some level. Travel to places if you can. Take cool pictures. Bitches like that shit. And lots of times, you don't even have to use Tinder. You'll just get DMs on Instagram. And there's some sponsored content that you might have to do as well. Maybe I'll get into that in a later video. But drop some comments in the comment section asking for it if you want me to make that video. Because most likely, because of all the good weed I'm smoking, I'll probably forget.
I've watched some of your podcasts, right? And you say how a lot of women, it takes emotion. Oh, most of them. For most part, it takes more emotion than it does for a man to have sex.
Yes.
So, at least for me personally, I can't speak for all the women here. For me personally, I would like to have some type of connection with you. Of course, I've had sex before where there's no emotions. That's happened. But overall,
if a girl says that, she's a hoe. Automatically disqualify for long-term relationship. If a girl says that, she's a hoe. If she's disconnected that feeling between sex and emotions, hoe.
I would like to say that I like you as a person. So it's harder for me to have sex than it is for a man. So for some women to sit here and say, you know, it's been a little while since we had some dick, that can be true, very true. You know, we got toys, we got things, we can survive.
Believable.
You know, but after a while, it does
exactly
get some dry. You know, you want some. You know, but you know, we can survive a certain amount, especially for mental, and we doing other things, working. You know, you got other extracurricular activities. You know, there's things that do come ahead, sex, but you get in the bed with your fingers or you dodo, whatever.
Or y'all gonna fucking never talk about it.
Ladies, it's
yo, when a girl talks like this, you know she has at least a 50 to 100 body count. Because think about it, if she says she's disconnected sex from emotions, that's the only barrier that women have when it comes to having sex, especially today in a Western society where the stigma of having casual sex has been removed from society. There's no shame anymore. The only thing that really stops women from just having a triple-digit body count these days is the fact that they're hesitant, afraid sometimes of meeting new men to have sex with, and that they need some kind of emotional connection to the man or respect the man in some way. But if you can remove the respect and the emotional connection part, then what is really stopping a female from acquiring a super high body count? Because you got to remember that sex is extremely easy to acquire for a female, any female, as long as you have a pulse, or not even that, maybe, you know, because they don't really have to even do work in the bedroom. You know, men do all the work, we do the courting, everything, you know, from start to finish. So it's very, very easy for them to get laid. And because men don't care who they sleep with, an 8-9 will sleep with a 4 like her and gasses them up too. So she probably has fucked a guy who's 8-9. Her level would really be a guy who's a 6 or 7 at most. And she's never going to respect that guy because she's going to think, well, that guy fucked me better. His dick was bigger. That guy had more money. He had a boat. And you don't. You ain't shit. So they fail to respect the guys who are really on their level. And women like her end up never settling and just saying goofy shit forever and dying alone.
Bed with your fingers or you dodo, whatever.
Or y'all gonna fucking never talk about it.
Ladies, it's
I'm being
possible.
honest. We on this podcast to be honest. I'm being honest with you. I can sit here and say, yeah, I got a dick. I used to do that, but right now in the moment that I'm at, I'm not doing that right now. But I used to just get dick just whenever I want to get dick. Like,
exactly what I was saying, yo. Exactly what I was saying. I am such a wizard of the game at this point. At 29 years old, I have truly become a veteran because I have not seen this clip before. I swear, I have not seen this clip before, but I know exactly what kind of female she is just by the first few sentences she said. And that's how good you can become at vetting women once you get to an experience of my level. That I was able to predict to a T exactly the nature of this woman before she said anything.
Possible, but probability always overrides possibilities.
I think it's who you talk to. There's different women on this world. Not everybody's the same type shit. You feel me?
You feel me? I do feel you. Most of the women out here today are hoes. I'm sorry to say, if some YouTube NPC bots, and I don't mean AI computer bots, I mean human bots, NPCs. Shout out to Sneeko. If they want to ban me for that shit, then so be it. I've been having countless clips taken down from YouTube for no reason. I appeal and then my appeals get granted because I never did anything wrong, but I get taken down for copyright strikes that I did not commit, for misinformation which I did not commit. Then they said in one of the strikes that I somehow said that the US election was rigged, even though I did not say that in my video. They took my Donald Trump video down. Ridiculous. YouTube is completely losing all sense of freedom of speech. And pretty soon there's going to be other platforms that might overtake it because of it. Because they're so arrogant that they think because they have a monopoly right now, they're going to have a monopoly on video streaming and video hosting forever. And as we all know, nothing good lasts forever. And it seems to be the case.
Women can be a huge liability
with YouTube. Okay, what's next? Let's see what we got in the queue.
Are there more of you or more of him? Are there more of you or more of him? This 1% guy you just described.
I mean,
I'll answer for you. There's far more of you. There's far more of you than there is of him.
Women that are making 6 figures?
No one cares about your money.
Cares about that. We explain that.
Men don't care about your fucking income. We care if you're hot. And she's a 7. I don't know her height, but let's just assume she's average height. So she's like 7, maybe even a 6 when she takes the makeup off. But she's going to sit here and say that her value is higher than a 1% man.
That earlier.
No, I'm saying, but we're talking about right
No, and we don't care about your income, sweetheart. We care if you're hot or not.
now, like
And you're
that
okay.
aspect.
Like
The question was
women that
like,
earn
what type of man do I want? I want somebody that's making more
6
money
foot,
than
making 100 grand per year. Yes, there's
Correct.
way less of him than there are of
Yeah,
you.
that's me, and I'm top 2, top 3% if you take my height and my income into account. I'm like top 2-3% of men, and I would not want to settle long term for this girl. She's like average, or slightly above average, because 5 would be an average. So, yeah, I would smash for sure. She's definitely fuckable, but that would be about it.
Even if we
Who's this fucking Walmart Elon Musk looking like guy in the middle?
put your income into it, there's still less of him because of the 6 foot metric.
Yeah, that's the height.
Thank you, God.
He's saying you ain't in the 1%.
With the height, yeah.
Yeah, see, and that's okay. So now, do you guys just see what happened just there?
Gotcha.
This explains why she thinks she's equal to a man and that he should be faithful to her, because you think that you are just as, how do I say this, rare as them. And I'm trying to tell you, that guy you just described is far less abundant than you think. There's way more of you. How many attractive women that fit your criteria are there out there?
Thousands,
versus how many
millions.
guys out there that make that kind of money are in that height? There's way less of them than there are of you. So supply and demand. The man that you described has way more value than you do in the dating market. Not to make you feel bad, but that's the reality. Because your $100,000 a year doesn't hold the same merit as a man that makes $100,000 a year. A man that makes
because that bitch ain't gonna share her money anyways.
Money is attractive. A woman that makes money, no one cares.
Yeah.
So the reality is, what you described, that guy is gonna have more options than you do as far as viable options.
Makes sense.
Does that make? She don't like hearing that, but that's.
No, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense when you
Here's what I
explain
think is
exactly
funny.
what we've been talking about. It does.
If you as a dude said the same stuff these girls are saying, it's like you gotta have this money, you gotta have this height, you gotta be. I would get cancel cultured. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I was like, she gotta have this and that and this. Like, it would be. It's not fair to be judgmental to girls the way that they.
Oh yeah, it's okay if they have requirements, but as soon as you have a requirement as a man, it's problematic or toxic.
The guys.
Men cannot have standards on women at all. You can't.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the same way that women have these standards on men should have those standards.
We
of the
do,
women,
but
the
when
women
we
they
when
hook
we
up.
speak them out loud, y'all cry and complain. Like when we say we want young things, like a 21-year-old chick is better than a 29-year-old chick. Oh, that's ageism. Oh, you're a pervert. You just want young chicks. Yeah, so she can give me multiple kids. By 29, 90% of your eggs are gone. So if you're a guy like me who wants 5-6 children, how am I going to do that with you? Oh, because you have a degree that makes you more valuable now? Fuck that shit, bro. I want a girl who listens to me and cooks and cleans. And maybe if she wants to have a job, cool. But like, she's not going to share her money with me anyways. And I wouldn't feel good taking a woman's money, regardless if she wanted to share her wealth with me or not. These bitches don't know what men want. And when we voice what we want, it's problematic, or it's wrong for you to have this requirement. Then they'll start explaining to you why a girl your age, you're 29, you should date someone your age, why that is better for me, when I'm explaining to them why it's not. Because I've dated 29-year-old chicks before, and they come with baggage and high body count, and most of the things that you want to take them to, they've already done. Like, they've already been on a boat by that age. They've already been in some guy's Porsche or Lambo. So like, there's not much that you knew that you can show a 29, 30-year-old chick. And so that sparkle in a young girl's eye that she has if you take her to a nice steakhouse, a 29, 30-year-old would not have that, because she's already been there, done that. And that's very unattractive to a man. But again, if you voice these things, it's wrong. It's bad. They don't like hearing this stuff. They can't handle the truth. They like to live in delusion. So they think like this chick, I'll acquire a high body count and I'll just fuck around in my early 20s, and as long as I have a career and I'm making 6 figures, some high value guy is gonna want me for my job. We don't care about that shit, sweetie. You women care about that shit. You women care about how much a man makes. So they apply their standards on what they look for a man, and they think, oh, because I want this in a man, a guy who makes 6 figures, a man must also want a woman who makes 6 figures. Stupid. Attraction is not symmetrical, ladies. Get that through your heads.
Because potentially you might have a child with that woman. Like,
most guys don't have the privilege of being able to be that selective with women. You guys get that because men come to you. Men don't get that. Guys in the top 3% still hard to get girls.
But you guys aren't being selective just because you want to bust a nut.
Make a 10.
I'll tell you right now, even though I'll admit to what Myron said, I'll admit to this. Even though I'm in that high end category, it's much easier for any of these females on the panel to get sex from a man than it is for me to get a woman. Like, they can go to any bar and get dick like this because it's dick. Because everybody knows dick is free. Pussy is expensive. And it'll probably still take me 1 or 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 tries maybe before I can get a girl back here. But to them, the first or maybe first 2 guys they ask, they'll fucking get them easily. They don't understand these things. And these women, I guarantee you, this is the first time they've heard this information. Because, men are not real men anymore. Her father probably didn't tell her this shit because he was fed a bunch of feminist lies. Because this shit has been force-fed into society of this blank slate equalism for the last, 50, 60 years in Western societies. So even her father is a victim to it, if she has one at home anyways, because as we know, in most Western homes, the father is not around anymore.
Their account with a dude's profile, and watch your loneliness.
There you go.
Thank you. I dare you.
The problem. Here's the thing. Like with girls, they can only see reality from their own lens.
Right.
Like that's what I've come to realize is like girls have a very difficult time understanding another perspective outside of their own. I mean, just now you described the man in the top 1%. You didn't even know. You're like, I'm in the same level as him. No, you're not. No, you're not at all.
Not even close.
Not even close. But a lot of girls don't know this though because they've never experienced it from the male perspective. I've always said it like with men, we have to understand women to get them. That's how you get laid. If you don't understand how women think, how they move, etc., you're not going to fuck them because you need to be the leader in the relationship. You need to know what makes them tick, what makes them attracted, etc. With women, though, they just exist and guys come to them. You have the privilege of, you don't have to understand men to attract them, but we have to understand women to attract them.
They got to know how to diet, though. That's hard.
There you go.
Fat, you know what I'm saying? The girls that's doing good with guys, they do know how to
Yeah, I
diet.
mean, but even if a fat chick can get a guy, you know what I'm saying?
For sex, at least, anyways. Not for long term. But they don't seem to understand that either, that just because you can get sexual attention does not mean you're getting relationship attention.
Well, she could get fresh. So, I mean...
Nah, bro, I got standards now. Okay.
So that's the end of that clip. I think I have one more lined up. Yep.
Women can be a huge liability. Facts, bro. Big facts. Women are a liability a lot of the times, guys. And I'll argue that if you don't understand female nature, they're inevitably going to be a liability. It's your job to turn them into an asset. That's really what it comes down to. A lot of you guys got to understand that if a girl...
That's why also if a chick tries to friend zone you, cut her off. Because essentially what she's trying to do is she's still trying to squeeze out the benefits that she would get from your company. If she was fucking you, basically your protection if you guys hang out outside. Because let's face it, she's still going to expect you to protect her if shit goes down. The protection, the advice that we men give, because let's be real, men give better advice. The friendship, the company, the shoulder to cry on when she gets her heart broken by Chad and Tyrone. And if she's not even sucking your dick, then what's the point? Because she's getting all of your resources, including maybe your money once in a while. You know, because bitches are cheap, man. You know, when you all go to fucking Tim Hortons, they're gonna look at you like, oh, you got this motherfucker, because they do that shit. You know what I mean? And some females compensate, and yeah, they're not all mooches. But I like to keep it 100. But at the same time, female friendships are useless, man. Like, they don't really add any value most of the time. And women, let's be honest, are annoying to be around. Like, if you've ever been around 5 or 6 just only females, it's fucking annoying, bro. The shit they talk about, it's nonsense. The fucking, it's just bullshit, man. The things they talk about. It's annoying to be around lots of women. Take it from me. I've been around lots of females in my life. They're fucking annoying, bro. And on top of that, like, if you're not even fucking, she's just fucking wasting your time, bro. Just get rid of that shit. And honestly, a lot of these chicks that try to friend zone me, and I'm like, okay, I'm not interested in having female friends. And first they're shocked. But then I say it very, very politely, and I'll still be a gentleman and walk them downstairs. But they're shocked, and they're like, wow. And some of them, like, will hit me back, and then later on try to get with me after friend zoning me. When I tell them, okay, I'm not interested in that shit. So if you're high value enough, they still want to keep you around, they'll offer you the pussy. So it's all about how you play it. And again, your results may vary, right? I check certain boxes, so maybe I can get away with these things, and you might not be able to. So take what I say with a grain of salt before trying to apply these things in your life.
Comes into your life and she's a liability, you allowed her to be a liability. Yeah. It's on you as the man to be the strong masculine leader so that she understands that she needs to add value to your life or she gets kicked to the curb. How do you do that? Keep your value high. She understands that she's replaceable. Once a woman understands she's replaceable, something magical happens. Oh, wow. This guy can replace me with other girls. I need to add value or else he's going to kick me to the curb. And when they see you, that you're an attractive guy and you got your shit together and other attractive women want to be with you, that's when girls operate the best. I've been telling you guys this since we started the podcast.
100%. It's called competition anxiety. And once they know that you have other options and other pussy, nothing drives them crazier. Nothing gets them wetter than knowing that you have other options.
Podcast back in fucking October of 2020. Don't let these bitches get comfortable, man. Bitches don't get too comfortable. From Future. I need you guys to literally live and breathe that shit. When women aren't comfortable, they perform. When they are comfortable, they don't perform. It's human nature. It's just the way it is. You know?
Yep.
Fresh is finally wearing the merch. Yes, he is.
There you go.
Vision TV. And then I am Marquise. No?
That's 20 and up after.
Oh, I'll read that last one. You just made it, my friend. Just turned 19 on Sunday and got a 690 credit score. Can I get it, Don DeMarco? Yes, you can, my friend.
On the way up, my boy.
On the way up. On the way up. Good work. Okay, cool. So we'll
those came before that one.
Okay. On the real, Myron, you be kicking out chicks for disagreeing with you, not for them being crazy. And if you're going to get mad at people for interrupting, you can't be interrupting people all the time. Okay, no. Tony Ogwu. Number one, This is our podcast,
It's
all right?
his
So we have
show,
to make
yeah.
sure that we
Fuck.
keep the show moving and everything, because a lot of the girls be saying some dumb shit, and it doesn't. You look at the chat and they start to get agitated because the girls are saying some shit that don't make sense,
Yeah, bro. Hoes just say shit and hope something makes sense.
or they go on a
They
whole.
just start talking because their whole lives nobody corrects them. Like their friends don't correct them. The guys they're around, they just want to fuck, so they don't correct them, and they just fucking walk through life saying absolute nonsense. And it's his show. If he's entitled to kicking them out, as long as he's not being physical or anything like that. And I don't think he's ever done that. So
whole other tangent that doesn't concern what we're discussing. Number 2,
Yo, you know what's funny?
She didn't even disagree. I don't know if you noticed it, dude. I was talking to the girl across from me. We were having a conversation, and then this girl wanted to interject every 2 seconds. Were you watching the same podcast, Ogul?
No. How about you do your own podcast, bro? And I go talk shit about you on your own shit. Cause dude, she gave you the middle finger one earlier on the show.
I didn't even know that. Yeah,
talking shit about you after each comment, like, oh, fuck nigga, like little shit like that. I was like, okay, I'm keeping a note of it because when it happens, you deserve to.
See, and I didn't. And see, here's the thing. I didn't even know that she was like saying these little things or whatever it may be.
Yeah. So
because there's a million things going on here, making sure that the production is good or whatever. But I was having a conversation with that girl from across from me, which she's a very nice girl. And then this girl here in the corner wanted to interrupt and interject and say all this other dumb shit, bro. So I love it when guys try to tell you like how to run your shit when it's like, all right, bro, I would love for you to deal with 10 girls every single fucking night, let them disrespect you on your fucking platform that you build, bust your ass to fucking build, talk shit, insult you, give you the bird, whatever, and then you just sit there and be like, oh, bro, you kicked her out for disagreeing with you. Bro, I brought plenty of girls on this pod that didn't kick out for disagreeing with me. She was disrespectful, annoying, ratchet, and hurt the quality of the show. I don't know if you noticed, but the show became much better after she left.
And women feel entitled. They feel entitled that you have to listen to their opinion or that their opinion is valid. And it's because of this female correct society that we live in today. This whole you go girl culture where they're never wrong. And that's why most of these women, they never take accountability for their actions. And you'll never hear a woman admit that she's wrong, ever. Like the video, guys. It takes a lot of effort to make these videos, and I have to sit through these dumbass hoes and comment on their bullshit and expose them here live from Toronto when I could be out partying, getting drunk, having fun. But I'm out here making these videos. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell next to the subscribe button. That helps me out a lot because I think YouTube is censoring my content and shadow banning me because of all the strikes on my account. So I believe a lot of people don't even see my content. So I need you guys to like the video, share if you can. That would help me out tremendously if you can share the video with your friends on other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. That's the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.